The apartheid government, there are rumors that when they saw they were going to lose power and there was going to be a changing of the order, they started looting a lot and they started buying themselves land, positioning certain people. That's why today we're like, Eskom can't survive without white Afrikaans engineers, and these mines, the servicing is done by white Afrikaans firms. Like, position yourself so that we're sorted. It looks like there was a lot of that, but they didn't have enough time. Even with Mandela's era, there wasn't enough time, and they were hoping with Mbeki there'd be more time to consolidate. Then this butternut-shaped guy, head-shaped guy comes through, and he seems to be disrupting, and he's coming with new players we don't know, new players we've never sat with, we haven't agreed with. They want to make, this is not what we agreed on. And it almost looks like Ramaphosa is coming back to finish that work, to say, we'll make sure we privatize as much of the state machinery as possible, so that any other political party that comes in after us, if the ANC loses, we will very gladly be like, you know what, we lost humbly, we are moving. Because we have positioned not just Afrikaners, but even some of the British colonial figures, Oppenheimers, the Manels, the Hersovs, and then the nouveau black elite, the Mutsipes, the Ramaphosas, to the EFF or whoever you want will be running the country, but Mutsipe will be supplying the electricity, Glencoe will be running the rail, Shanduka will be with Pembani and Putuma Nhleko doing other things. Abo Christo Visa will still be running ShopRite, we'll have Time Bank and Capitec. And you'll have this shell of a government which will focus on what governments were meant to do, just policy, but not really be involved in the core of running an economy. And we haven't seen Abo Ramaphosa reverse what you're speaking about of, we will industrialize the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu, we will industrialize and we'll make sure that these things are developing so that the people there are empowered. And we don't see the same thing from even tribal leaders, unfortunately. That's what it looks like. And that's what Omar Lima are almost also alluding to. That all Ramaphosa are just projects that are here to ensure that the incumbents from back then retain economic power. So that whether it's Songezo Zibi, whether it's Mpotakada, it's Julius Malema, Herman, it doesn't matter. The people who get to decide who gets to play on the table, because you need funding for your structures, for your campaigning, for your... The people that will still play, it may not be Jonathan Oppenheimer, it will be Rebecca Oppenheimer. It might be someone from the Manel family. It might be Rob Hersov. It might be Patrice Mutsipe, who was a great follow-up to them. And even the new black middle class and maybe new rich, it's nice to see the transformation, but they must meet a certain criteria which doesn't destabilize Camps Bay, Umhlanga, and also ensures that they also get taxed like we get taxed, because they're now part of us. They're just black, white colonial beneficiaries. But the rural areas still remain and maybe even get worse.
I must say upfront that a lot of the stuff you've said I agree with, right? Here's our problem in South Africa, or humans in general. We have little appetite to handle complexity. So reality is a lot more complex, but our reference to reality attempts to make it neat,
binary,
by the stories that we tell.
We want it to be binary, black or white.
So that so-and-so fits in this, so-and-so. And if they don't fit in this, they cannot be this, that, and the other. All right? So they attempt to clean. That's one thing. The second thing I want to say, South Africa as a country that is moving on from generation to generation doesn't have to use the same tools to reflect critically on who does what as the same as those that came before us used to use, right? Let me make an example. If I say Upenuel Mpimpi, South Africa today needs a Penuel who is Mpimpi.
Why?
Because Mpimpi today is going to say, I was working in such and such a municipality, I was instructed to do something unlawful and I didn't do it, and the person who was instructing me to do it is so and so and so and so and so and so.
So it's called whistleblowing, and in America they call it snitching, which has almost become black culture, that thou shalt not snitch, which is
The reason why it's culture is manipulation by a generation whose time is long gone as an attempt to make themselves continue to be relevant in present day South Africa.
I hear you.
And for them to be relevant, they must impose the lexicon that was important for them on this generation.
Sure. Like Ubuntu. When a person uses Ubuntu to exploit you.
Yeah. Now, I've said that to say, handling complexity says, and by the way, this is my response to you. You're saying I'm doing a good job in being an ambassador for and I love it.
And they've done amazing work, man. We can never deny.
I love it that you say that, because that's part of who I was. From 2006, I was defending the Kucha project.
Yeah.
From 2009, I was a municipal employee defending government policy. So I know that there was a political actor who was Zuma aligned from Nelson Mandela Bay, the Stalini group, that said that we're not doing this as part. Before them, there was Neba and it was Mbeki aligned. Or there were groups that were Mbeki aligned that were doing what you attempted to simplify as capital's gambit to keep the masses happy, right? There was a group that sat politically and made a choice. This municipality receives 10 billion as a budget is 10 billion. 2 billion of it is capital budget. We are not going to allow more than less than 80% of it to not be spent in previously disadvantaged wards. Now, this is a political actor who's acting within the ambit of government, making a revolutionary decision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, there's no way I could construe this political decision as part of the gambits of capital. You know what I mean? The decision to build the Port of Moch was a lobby by both local stakeholders in Gqeberha, working with business in Gqeberha, and the alliance of the ANC, COSATU, to build that project, to have that project go there. Engaging politically with national government as part of a political battle to then have victory to say we're going to build it. Now, that I cannot construe within the confines of big corporate gambits to keep the masses happy, right? And then lastly, if we are going to handle, so why am I a proud ambassador for the ANC? Because I don't need not to critique it for failing to do some of the things it has failed to do.